Our humble pranams to all the assembled devotees. Yesterday was Diwali or Aaj Govardhan Puja. These 2 days are very, very auspicious, very important days. So we will speak little bit about Diwali and little bit about Govardhan Puja. Generally, people don't know much about Diwali. Diwali means new clothes, sweets, pataki, over. That is all is Diwali actually. Nowadays, unfortunately, पूरा इंडिया में दिवाली का दिन में मांस भी खाते हैं. It became a fashion nowadays in India. Diwali means non-veg food, you know. It has become very common, very painful to know about this. So actually, this is a very important day. Lakshmi ji ka avatar hua on Diwali day. Lakshmi Devi came out of milk ocean on Diwali day. Dhanvantari, Lord Dhanvantari, the Lord of medicine, he also appeared on Diwali day. Then, in the whole calendar, यमराज जी को सिर्फ साल में एक दिन हम पूजा कर सकते हैं, यम दैत्यराज पूजा. Only one day in a year we can do puja. If you are little scared about death, you can try that also. So that is on Diwali day. अगर कोई बीमार पड़ गए, very sick, and if you really have concern on them, then Diwali day is the best day to pray for them. Because Yamaraj takes special concern on that day. Yamaraj ji ko thoda मिठाई खिला दीजिए, give him some sweets and he will make some discount on Diwali day. Then many leelas happened on Diwali day. Krishna was tied to that wooden mortar and Krishna pulled out that Yamala Arjuna trees on Diwali day. Or Sudama left to meet Krishna on Diwali day. You know, he left by foot to Dwaraka to meet Krishna on Diwali day. Lord Ramachandra came back to Ayodhya on Diwali day. So itna, so much of importance is there on Diwali. We just buy new clothes, eat some sweet and crack something and sleep off. That's what we will be doing. So Diwali is a festival of lights. हम दिया जलाते हैं. And there are two purposes. For normal people, common man, it is, the lamp is Aishwarya, opulence. And for a spiritualist who is practicing spiritual process, for them, it is knowledge. You know, Bhagavad Gita में एक श्लोक है where Krishna is telling, ज्ञान दीपेन भास्वता अहम अज्ञान जम तमः. Jnana Deepa, for a devotee, this Deepa is Gyan. And for normal people, this Deepa is just Aishwarya, opulence. You don't have to take a special effort to push darkness away. If the room is dark, will you try to push the darkness, blow away the darkness? You know, you can't do all that thing. But simply by lighting a lamp, darkness is automatically removed. Krishna Surya Sama Maya Haya Andakar. Krishna is light and ignorance is darkness. And what are the factors of ignorance? Fear, insecurity, loneliness, craving for acceptance. These are all factors of darkness. There are many devotees online now. How many of you have felt scared at 2 o'clock, mid-noon, afternoon, all of a sudden I'm so scared, 2 o'clock. Will you get scared by noon or in the midnight? We get scared in the night. We don't get scared in the daylight. All kinds of nonsensical thoughts will be fabricated only in the dark. Only in the dark, all unnecessary thinking will happen. Only in the dark, we will scheme about cheating somebody. Sometimes we enjoy scheming against someone. It becomes a mental rasa. We may not do, but we lie down on the bed and think of putting a big stone on the husband's head or something. We enjoy that thought. We may not really do it. We also know that we won't do, but we will enjoy. These kind of things will not happen in the daytime. Then loneliness. People say, when they are disturbed, somehow I pass my day, but I'm scared of night. That loneliness, craving for acceptance. These are all factors of agyan, ignorance. Many people in this world suffer by these things nowadays. And simple solution, light a lamp. And what is that lamp? Krishna Surya Sama. Just have Krishna in your heart. These thoughts will disappear. And we see some Krishna devotees, they are always happy. Sometimes we wonder how these people are so enthusiastic. They don't fall. I have met one Maharaj, sannyasi called Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj. He must be some 75 years old. He has a nice cap. He's a British person. In the cap, he has put all kinds of dolls sticking there. 24 hours he is singing at the age of 75. In the normal world, by the time they hit 75, many will forget, how to smile or how to be good with others. They will be like robots. Krishna, the moment we have Krishna in our heart, all these things disappear. And outside people, normal people, common man, Diwali day, he observes Diwali thinking it's an opulence, which is also correct. But a devotee sees this diya lamp as knowledge. Imagine you are in a trouble and we are giving you two solutions to solve your trouble. One is knowledge to get out of that problem, and the second is a lump of money. Which one you will take? Which one we will take? On a Diwali day, somebody is gifting. Somebody is gifting me gyan, knowledge, and on the other hand, somebody is gifting me money. Which one we will prefer? We will take money only. Right? So this is a common man. There is nothing wrong. This is also accepted. But Gyan, Jnanadipena Bhashvata, Arjuna, light up the lamp of knowledge. All the ignorance. Ignorance means fear, loneliness, craving, insecurity. Everything will disappear from your heart. That is real wealth. One day, in Barsana, I don't know whether I told the story last time. In Barsana, Krishna and Radharani, they were sitting on a swing and they were having nice pastime, Leela. One elderly Brahmana came there. And that Brahmana said, you are son of Nanda Maharaj, you are a prince. And Radhika Devi, Radharani, She is also princess, daughter of Rishabhanu Maharaj. So you both are from royal family. I have two daughters in my house. And I am so poor, I don't have money to get them married. So Krishna, why don't you give me little charity? Then Krishna asked, what were you doing so long? Why you didn't save money? Why you didn't collect money? Then the Brahmana smiled and said, the only wealth in this world is you. I was trying to capture you in my heart. You are the real wealth. So I didn't take trouble of going behind this temporary wealth. So Krishna became very happy with that answer. Then Krishna said, okay, I will give you the best charity in this whole universe. I will give you Radharani as a charity to you. I will give Radhika Devi as that. And the Brahmana smilingly said, I already have two girls in my house. You are adding one more. How will I get them married? So Krishna was laughing, Radharani was laughing. Then Radharani sat on that scale and Krishna started donating jewelry, so much of gold to the equal weight of Radharani and gifted. And that Baba, that Brahmana was telling, no, this is more than enough. I don't need this, so much I don't want. But Krishna is telling, you take, you gift them to your daughters, and so much of gold. So the real wealth is Krishna. Without having, there are three beautiful levels of understanding. Three levels of understanding. The first one is, when we become a devotee, we start praying, Krishna, protect my children. I have got some health problem. Please solve this. I have some financial problem. Please protect everything. I should be happy. My assets should be taken care nicely. This is how we start Krishna consciousness, which is correct. Krishna himself promises, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. I will preserve what you have and I will supply what you need. So this is the first level. Then when we practice Krishna consciousness further, then we realize this is not real wealth. Krishna is real wealth. This is level 2. First we pray to Krishna so that all my material belongings are nicely protected, well protected. That's level 1. Level 2, we realize this is not the real wealth. The real wealth is Krishna. Param Brahma, Param Dama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham, Shashvatam, Divyam. Krishna, you are the real wealth. Level 2. Then we practice Krishna consciousness even further. Then we reach level 3, where we are ready to sacrifice material wealth to possess Krishna in our heart. Sarvadharman parityajya. Give up everything. Mam ekam sharanam vraja. You are everything. So, there are 3 levels. Initially, we pray to Krishna so that all our wealth is protected. Second, we pray to Krishna. We realize this is not permanent. Krishna is the real wealth. In the 3rd level, we are even ready to sacrifice all this material wealth so that we will possess Krishna. So, in which level are we? Level 1, level 2, level 3? I am sure many of us are in level 1 only. Krishna, please take care of everything, And if you don't take care, then I will change gods. I will go to some other temple and things like that. So, real wealth is having Krishna in heart. I don't know whether you know the story of Purandara Das, a big miser, but at the same time, he was very rich. He had so much of wealth. He was called Navakoti Narayan, which means he's a jeweler, and he had 9 crore gems. Very rich person, but एक number कंजूसी, pitashi, What do you say for miser in Kannada, Prabhu? Miser. Kripana. Acha. Jipuna. Okay. You know, every day when he goes out to his shop, he will measure oil and ghee and give it to his wife for cooking. And he will lock the rest of the ghee. Imagine if a husband does like that. Kali Yuga. You know, he will give 100 ml ghee, 100 ml oil, such a big miser, and sometimes he won't use the ghee. If he uses, it will get finished off. So what he will do, he will smell the ghee. Then he will eat his food. He will not use the ghee, he will simply smell the ghee. Such a big miser he was. You know, he didn't understand the real thing. Krishna was thinking, why this Narayana is like this? Such a big miser. Whatever you respect in your life will stay with you. Whatever you use in the benefit of the humanity will stay with you. You respect relationship, that person will stay with you. You respect money, money will stay with you. You respect gyan, knowledge, knowledge will protect you. So, in material calculation, you have 100 rupees, you spend 50, you have only 50 balance. But in spiritual calculation, you have 100 rupees, you spend 50, you have 150 balance. And how is that? Like a farmer. When the farmer draws water from the well, there are new springs coming and the water level in the well is keep on, as much water he takes, the more water keeps rising in the well. This is spiritual calculation. So, whatever we love, like or possess in this world, that thing should be used in the service of Krishna. Suppose I am mad after flowers, then I should use that flower in the service of Krishna. If I am mad behind money, then I should use that money in the service of Krishna. Whatever, we will have some kind of possessiveness, attachment and attraction. That thing should be used in the service of Krishna. Then my existence will be purified. So Krishna thought, this Narayana is possessing money and not even giving to his wife, not even sharing with his wife. So Krishna assumed the form of a old Brahmana and started visiting Narayana's shop every day and saying that, I am an old man, I have got a daughter to get married, please give some charity. And this Pitashi Narayana, he had some kind of a belief, if I say I will not give money, then maybe Lakshmi will leave me. So every day he will tell a lie, Brahmana, you come tomorrow, I will give you. And the next day he'll say, you please come, then the next day, tomorrow I will give you. So this was going on for almost 1 year. And Krishna was coming to his shop every day. Then after 1 year, Krishna thought, okay, let me change my plan. He went to his wife. And Krishna said the same thing. I am a poor elderly Brahmana, my daughter is there, she has to get married. And immediately Narayana's wife, she was moved. She pulled out her ring, which was studded with all costly gems, and gave it to the poor Brahmana. And said, you can sell this, take the money and get your daughter married. Easily you can get your daughter married with this money. Then Krishna took that same ring to Navakoti Narayana's shop. He could have gone to some other shop. Krishna purposely went to that same shop. Then this man was like, this is my wife's ring. Maybe this Brahmana would have stolen, or maybe my wife would have given him. He was so disturbed. He told Krishna, Brahmana, sit in my shop, I will come now, I will take money from my house and come. And Krishna was waiting. And he was screaming, Saraswati, Saraswati, where is your ring? And she got scared. Now my husband will find out, then what will she? And she started praying to Panduranga so deeply, Vittala, Panduranga, Krishna. And immediately an exact same ring appeared on her finger. She was surprised, shocked. Then when her husband came and asked for the ring, she gave the ring. And he was wondering, two rings, similar ones. Then this lady narrated the entire thing to him. Why are you so blind behind this? If Krishna wants in a kshana, he can give. He is Lakshmi Pati. Lakshmi Sahasra Sata Sambrama Sevyamanam. Thousands of Lakshmis are serving. So the real wealth is Krishna. So this is the Gyan, what we are trying to learn on a Diwali day. I will tell one tiny pastime and we will move to Govardhan Leela. In Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, there was a guru and disciple. I forgot the guru's name. The disciple's name was Kanna, whatever. Both of them are great singers, guru and disciple. This Leela happened somewhere close to Tanjore in Tamil Nadu. I think Leela really happened. So he was such a wonderful singer. They composed so many songs about Krishna, Vishnu, Lakshmi, and every day they keep singing, and Krishna is so happy listening to their song. And he will lie on that Ananta, with this thing. So one day king went and told the guru, your songs are so amazing. Guru's name is Tirumalizai Alvar. Okay, thank you so much. Tirumalizai Alvar. Yes, the name itself says he is a beautiful singer. So the king went and said, please, okay, that means everybody knew the story, right? Should I go ahead with the story? No. Okay.
Please do.
Yeah. So the king went and said, why don't you sing a song for me? And the devotee always said, the guru said, I serve Krishna, I serve Vishnu. How can I sing about a king like you? If you surrender your life to Krishna, then I will prefer singing about you. Otherwise, I'm not comfortable. The king became very upset. So many people come and sing about me, glorify me and take money. You can't do that. King became very upset and said, get lost, you don't stay in my kingdom. Get away. Then Guru felt very bad and helpless. Guru started walking. He was walking on the paddy field and leaving the kingdom. Then the king went to the disciple and said, see, your guru is a stupid person. You sing about me, I'll pay you so much money. And the disciple said, how can I do something which my guru is not doing? That is not achar. Then the king said, you also get lost. So the disciple was following the king in the paddy field. Then Mahavishnu, Krishna was lying on the Ananta and he was asking Kanikanna, the disciple, Kanikanna, where are you going? Then the boy said, my guru is not here. And the king wanted both of us to leave, so we are leaving. Then Krishna asked, then what about me? Then Kanikanna said, you also come with us. So there is a beautiful shloka by Alvars, Pamban Padukkayai Paibol Surutti. Pamban Padukkai, Pabu means snake, Padukkai means bed. Paibol Surutti, Pai means mat. So what Lord Mahavishnu did, he got up from Ananta bed, the snake bed, and rolled the snake bed and put it under his arm, and he started following both of them. The guru and disciple in the paddy field. Guru is going, disciple is following, and Krishna is also following with the snake under his armpit. Then when Vishnu left, Krishna left, Lakshmi Devi, Bhumi Devi, 33 crores of Devi Devata, everybody is following them. And all of a sudden, the temperature rose, the earth started cracking, poisonous snakes and scorpions came out of the earth, water in the well disappeared, river dried, there was severe famine and drought. Then the king started running, he saw Lakshmi Devi going in the paddy field, and all the Devis and Devas are all going in the paddy field. And he was running and saying, please stay back, come back to my country, please, please. And they're saying, stop the person who is going in the front. Then he will run there and say, please, please. They'll say, no, the guy in the front. And finally he came to Lakshmi. She said, How can I stay where my husband is not there? Lakshmipati is going in the front, stop him. Then the king ran. Then Krishna said, I don't know anything. Kanikanna asked me to get up from the bed. I woke up and I'm following. Stop him. Then he went to Kanikanna. Kanikanna said, stop my guru. Then the king went and bowed down to Guru. And Guru forgave the king. Guru turned. The whole queue took a U-turn and came back to there. Krishna also came and rolled his mat and he slept again. So Krishna is the real wealth. Where there is Krishna, everything else stays there. We don't have to independently look for those things. Wealth, health, protection, security, it's all there. That faith we should develop. So Deepavali is a wonderful day where we develop this faith that Krishna is our real protector. Okay? Yes. Now we will move to Govardhan Puja. Today was a wonderful day in Vrindavan. Busy day. Morning, every year, Vrajavasis are such an ardent, sold-out devotees of Krishna. They don't think or worry about anything personal. Their existence is for the pleasure of Krishna. Young, old, gopis, gopas, even cows, calves, everyone is for the pleasure of Krishna. So, every year they worship Indra, and on that day, they start their day by worshipping cows, Goseva. You can see Krishna stealing butter. Very recently, I heard His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj, very senior Vaishnava. Why milk? It was a very nice explanation he took from Goswamis. Why milk? And why butter? Why Krishna should steal butter? He could have stolen jangris, laddus. Comparatively, those things are much sweeter than butter. Why butter? There are so many, imagine, there are so many things in your fridge and your mother is not there and you can eat anything. There are fruits, there is dates, there is ice cream, there is milk, there is butter, then there is pizza, there is burger. I am sure none of you will take butter there. There are so many other nice things. Then why butter? Beautiful. Prabhupada is writing in Bhagavatam, milk is nothing but mother's love. Milk means love. In the material commodity, love is represented by milk. When mother has love for baby, automatically there is milk. That is how a farmer, a cowherd man milks the cow. He will tie the calf in front of the cow and the cow will see the calf, beautiful. I don't know how many of you seen a newborn baby calf. If we present you newborn baby calf and newborn baby deer, you can't make a difference. Eyes will be so beautiful as though somebody has done that, that black kajal thing and all. They naturally have got that. I think Mataji saw this calf and deer, then they copied it. This calf and deer and all, naturally they have this, that black eye thing and all. So beautiful, this newborn calf. And it is brought and tied in front of the cow. And the cow will start licking the calf. Rubbing her face and licking and all. On the back side, the milkman will pull out all the milk. He will cheat the cow. So, out of love for the calf, there is milk. And butter is the condensed part of milk. That is prema. The divine love. So when Krishna stole butter from Brajavasis, it is not just butter, not Makhan chor, Chitta chor. On the other side, he was stealing the heart of gopis. Makhan was a media, but he was really stealing the heart of Brajavasis. That is why this milk is, Krishna loves milk and milk products and all butter and ghee and yogurt, curd, milk, everything to do with milk. Milk peda, sandesha, rasgulla, rasmalai, all milk items. He will start stealing. So that day morning, Indra Puja's day, that morning, all the Vrajavasis, they are worshipping cows. And there's a beautiful thing Maharaj said. There is a big difference between cow care and cow seva. Go seva and go raksha. Go raksha means protecting, caring for cows means sometimes we bring the cows from the slaughterhouse, which is going to get killed. There are random cows in the street. We pull them and bring them. And this is what Go Seva is entirely different. Many people, they have cow and a calf, and if there is a bull there, they will sell the bull off. Because bull eats a lot. Bull will eat 4 times of what the cow eats. So they will sell the bull, keep the cow and calf alone. This is not Go Seva. There are so many details. But what Brajavasis, they are lover of cows. And in one place, one sannyasi said, if you want to enter Goloka, you should start loving cows too. If you don't love cows, we cannot go, because Goloka is full of cows. So Vrajavasis love cows and they worship cows, and the horns are gold plated, the hooves are gold, that got gold, and bells around the neck. It was a different thing. Then after this, Vrajavasis became so busy. Nobody had time to play with Krishna. And Krishna was just 8-year-old boy. He went and called all his friends. And the friends said, no, Krishna, today we are not going to play with you, because our parents had given us so much of job. We have to collect flowers, we have to collect fruits, we have to do this, we have to do this. No time for you. Krishna didn't like all these things. Krishna is very personal. We also go through all these things. When the person whom we love so much, when the person with whom we share many secrets of life, that person fails to pay attention to even minor detail in our day-to-day happening, we feel hurt. And we retaliate by not paying attention to that person physically and internally thinking about that person 24 hours a day. All kinds of emotional, psychological things and all happen. Why this is happening? Krishna has got all these things. He's a master of everything. He doesn't like when devotees don't pay attention and all to him. If you chant one day nicely and 2 days you don't chant attentively, inattentively you chant and you sleep off, he will transfer your file to Narayana and say, Narayana, you take care of him. He is not my candidate. Krishna means personal. Sarvadharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Right? Wishy-washy chanting, one day devoted, another day that and all, that file he will transfer to Narayana. Narayana will see how many times you have chanted, into 5 rupees he will pay you off. Game is settled. Krishna means very personal, very personal. When Draupadi said, Krishna, you didn't save me, Krishna said, you didn't call me. That much personal he is. That is why we also has got all this quality, but in a wrong sense we got it. So, Krishna, when the Gopa said, no, we don't have time to play with you, Krishna was not very happy. Then he went to the gopis. The moment Krishna approached the gopis said, Krishna, today leave us. We have so much of jobs. Our mother has given this and that and this and that. No time with you, please. Okay. Then Krishna went to Father Nanda Baba. And he was asking questions, and Nanda Baba said, Lala, today I'm very busy. Evening I will come and spend time with you. Then he ran to Yashoda Maya. Yashoda Maya also said the same thing. And Krishna can never remain alone, and he never remains alone. That one sweet quality which makes him different from Narayana is Narayana will be there alone. Narayana will stay alone, and Krishna will never stay alone. There will be gopas, there will be gopis, there will be queens, there will be parents or cows. Something will be there. And Krishna didn't like this day. Why this day is like this? And the whole villages are busy. And Krishna is thinking, who is the reason for this situation? And Indra. He has drawn all attention towards himself. And I am rejected. Then Krishna, 8-year-old boy, he went to Nanda Baba. Nanda Baba is very busy. And Krishna said, Nanda Baba, I can see that you are so busy. If you answer me one tiny question, I will leave you free. You can continue your job. So immediately Nanda Baba dropped all the busyness, job, and turned to Krishna and said, okay, what is your question? Ask me. And that beautiful, enchanting smile, Krishna captivated the heart of Nanda Baba. Then Nanda Baba smilingly took Krishna, put him on his lap and said, okay, what is your question? Why you people are so busy? And Nanda Baba said, you don't know. Every year we are worshipping Indra. This is our Thanksgiving day. We have to give thanks to Indra. We have to pay our tax so that he will give rain and this and that. Then Krishna asked, do you really think Indra is God? Then Nanda Baba asked, why are you asking such a question? If he is taking tax from you and giving you rain, I would call him businessman rather than calling him God. The Nanda Baba was little taken aback. This 8-year-old boy is asking so much of intelligent question. Then Nanda Baba called his brothers Sunanda, Upananda. They are very elderly people. They are like the leaders of Rajvasis. And whatever they say is final. 8-year-old boy cornered all of them, convinced them. Then all the brothers, 3 brothers, Nanda, Upananda, Sunanda, they asked, okay, Krishna, what should we do? Stop this Indra Puja and worship Govardhan. He is the person. Govardhan is supplying everything, protecting. Stop it. And they agreed. That is the wonder. They agreed because for them everything is Krishna. This is pure Krishna consciousness. But in our life, we have our own intelligence interfering. Imagine if we were there in the position of Nanda Baba, what we will say, small boy, he is talking something immature things. Yes, right. Krishna, what you say is right. And we will go on with the Indra Puja. That's the difference between us and the brothers. They agreed and they stopped. And they said, how to worship? Whatever arrangements you have done for Govardhan, just use it for, Indra, just use it for Govardhan. Then they all went to Govardhan. You know, even Vrindavan, this village, many of you would have gone to Vrindavan. And in front of that ISKCON, that big road is there. Bhaktivedanta Swami Marg. And in the end of that road, that place is called Chatikara. You know, from that national highway, we take a left and we enter Vrindavan. And that junction, that place is called Chatikara. And these villages, they are like a cow herd. They stay in one place for some time, build palaces and cows, they'll graze cows and all. And when the pasture meadow is over, then they will move to a new place. So originally they were in Gokul. And there Putana came, Trinavrita came, Shakadasura came. Then the Baba, Nanda Maharaj and brothers decided, let us leave Gokul, this place is too dangerous. And let us go to Vrindavan. And when they came to Vrindavan, it was just a jungle. It was just jungle. So what they did in the night, they parked their bullock carts in a hemisphere, like a circle. and they all stayed in the center. The ladies slept in the bullock cart, and the men slept in the middle, and they had fire, and that's how they slept in the night. Because they parked all the bullock carts in this thing, that's why they the place got the name Chatikara. Means it's an arch, it's a circle. And morning they woke up. It was a jungle. Vrindavan was a jungle. And morning they woke up. There was palaces, gardens, pond, and all. It was a city. And Brajvasis woke up, and they didn't feel any surprise. They felt it's like quite normal, and they entered and occupied the house. They didn't have a doubt. This is how Rajleela was. For them, everything is Krishna and nothing else matters. Imagine you bought a property in Bangalore and you came to Oman, and after next year you go and one palace has grown up in this place. Will you take it light? It's like, wow, I am the chosen one. I am the blessed one. For them, these things doesn't matter. Palace, wealth, and they're playing with pearls. They're playing with gold. For Brajvasis, all these things doesn't matter. For them, it's only Krishna. This is their mood. So they just believed whatever Krishna said. They went to Govardhan and started offering. I saw this once in Belgaum. They cook on the ground. Amazing. I don't know how many of you have eaten on the floor. If you go to Udupi, you get a chance to eat on the floor. When I went to first time, there was 2 queues in 2 lines for lunch. One is a busy packed line, another is comparatively a thin small line. And the man who was standing was saying, Ilameluta, Nilameluta, Ilameluta. We couldn't make what he's saying. He was just like a song he was singing. And we saw this queue is small. Okay, all of us got in that thin queue. We were sitting there and others were getting leaf plates and they are eating. And these people, they came and dropped rice on the floor, dal sambar on the floor. Aparamataji, you had that? That Nilame Luta you have never tried? No. If you go to Udupi.
We have heard, but we have never tried.
Oh, Udupi you should try. On the floor. Right on the floor, they throw rice, they throw dal, they throw everything, and the rasam from your rice goes to the neighbor's rice and it comes from there. It is all like a canal, but it was very tasty. Maybe because people were walking on that floor, it was really tasty, right? So, eating on the floor, and I saw this for the first time in Belgaum. They take a pit in the mud, and they plaster the mud with mud itself and make a vessel in the mud, and they make a tunnel on the other side and put dry woods and burn it, and they drop dal, khichdi, and wonderful khichdi cooked on the floor. In Belgaum, ISKCON, they do that. On the ground they cook khichdi. Amazing taste. The earth becomes a pot naturally. And this started in Brajvasis Vrindavan. They came with 400 bullock carts of material to offer for Govardhan Puja. Mounds of rice, Annakuta, mounds of rice, mounds of vegetable, mounds, everything. And within seconds, that mighty mountain opened his mouth, started screaming, Aniyor, give me more. And he was swallowing everything. Then within moments, everything disappeared, all the 400 bullock cart item over. And Nanda Baba asked Krishna, what to do? Krishna immediately, like a very innocent boy, in Kausalya Suprabhatam we sing, oh Krishna, Vishnu, please wake up. Yama and Surya are waiting for your orders. Uttishta, Uttishta, Govinda, Uttishta, Karuda, I think 3rd or 4th line. Please wake up, Govinda. Yamaraj is waiting for your order. Surya is waiting for your order so that he can go and rise in the east. The Lord, where the Devas are paying obeisances, But all of a sudden he became a very innocent boy. He said, I don't know. And Krishna told, why are you believing a small 8-year-old boy's words? You should have thought for yourself. You should be intelligent. Why are you asking me? Krishna, you only told me to do all these things. But why you should believe a small boy? I am an inexperienced boy. How can you believe my words? And Nanda Baba is in fix. And all the materials are over and the mountain is still keep screaming. Then they ran to Vrindavan, they brought all the raw materials, whatever. Then there's no time for cooking dal and all. Raw dal, raw rice they started offering. And the mountain is eating everything. And they had rivers and ponds of mango juices, ponds of jackfruit juice. And mountain started sucking everything. Then Balramji thought, these devotees are struggling and Krishna is playing his Leela. Their really intention, they did not know how to please go over them. So Balaram is called Sevaka Bhagavan and Krishna is called Sevya Bhagavan. Both are Bhagavan only. Once Prabhupada, one devotee asked Prabhupada, what is the difference between Balaram and Krishna? Prabhupada said he is white God and that is black God. That is all the difference. So Krishna is Sevya Bhagavan who receives seva. Balaram is Sevaka Bhagavan who renders seva. So Bhakti means seva. There is nothing else. The real deep inner meaning of Mahamantra itself, Krishna, please grant me seva. Seva is the way we express our love. Bhakti means simply seva. Here, the supreme, the first primeval expansion himself is serving the Lord. So Balramji saw there's trouble and the Vrajvasis are in tension. So he simply took Tulsi and when the mountain opened his mouth and he threw and mountain became satisfied. And all the Vrajvasis, they saw Krishna standing there. They could see Krishna's face. And Nanda Baba said, how could my son go there? And he saw his son is standing next to him. At the same time, his son is there. That way Krishna proved that there is no difference between me and Giriraj. And they were very tired. Vrajvasis were very tired. Whole day they spent on Go Puja and they spent on Govardhan Puja. Govardhan Puja was not a planned thing. It happened all of a sudden. Spontaneous devotion. For us, it is not like that. Govardhan Puja, 1 month meeting, then there is follow-up, then organizing, then which dress to wear, that so many, then the festival comes. Govardhan Puja was spontaneous. Krishna told in the morning, let us do, and Vrajvajis did. So they were really tired. And none of them had food that day. They didn't eat food because they were busy cooking, offering, busy cooking. And Krishna was really eating off everything. He didn't give back prasada for the devotees. He ate off everything. So they were so tired and they didn't have food to eat. And they came back and they forgot about their food. Whole night and day Vrajvasis were talking to each other. I saw Krishna there, I only threw laddu. Another person, no, I brought jangri, I brought this, I brought that. And each one, they were talking like as though they had 1,000 mouths. Whole night they were talking about Govardhan Leela. It was going on and on and on. They forgot their food, they forgot their sleep. Their consciousness was filled with Krishna. This is what the Goswamis also did. They forgot their food and sleep and everything and simply thought about Krishna. This is devotion, pure devotion. We are mixed. We will chant and we will take a break. And there is a lunch break, then the rest time. Then again we will come and chant. We are balanced because we are normal. Anyway, there is nothing wrong. We are normal human beings. But the Goswamis and Vrajvasis, the whole day they didn't eat, the children they didn't eat, and they were simply talking and talking and talking, and they spent the whole night. Then the news reached Indra. This is how the Govardhan Puja went. Then Indra became very angry. That we will continue in our next session. So, It's a holy day, very auspicious day today. So many things happened. Like I said, Lakshmi Devi appeared, Dhanvantri appeared, Sudama went and met Krishna, Govardhan Puja, Go Puja, Bali Daityaraja Puja. So many things happened on this holy day. So it's a great fortune that we also meditate on Krishna Leela, understand some tiny lessons from Krishna's pastimes, and trying to implement those lessons in our life. And we should thank again and again to Srila Prabhupada for all these things. Otherwise, I am very sure none of us will know what is Diwali. Shopping, cracking, and maybe burn your pocket and finger, sleep off. That is how all the Diwali was. After coming to ISKCON, Prabhupada's books, we could appreciate these things. Everything has got a deep meaning where we can very simply connect ourselves to Krishna. So please utilize this opportunity. Attend satsangs regularly, don't break. I heard many new devotees have joined. Take it up. This is something very rare and valuable. You will realize the value of satsang after a few years. It will bring a big transformation in our life. Lot of blessings for our children. So please take it up. Thank you so much for joining in this satsang. Thank you. Hare Krishna.